Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you to every one of you being here with us today. We are pleased to welcome you to join the Steel Connect webinar with the topic of Building Beyond Strength, Exploring coated steel technology, performance, and best practice in modern construction. We appreciate very much if you can mute your mic during the whole session. You can raise your question from time to time by post your question into the Q&A box. Appreciate you can attach with your email address. We will try our best to answer your question in the end of this webinar. Otherwise, we will return an email to you to answer your question. For architects and engineers who would like to collect your LAM or BM CBT point, please stay through the entire webinar as there will be a survey form required to be filled. Right? Thank you very much. Okay, so before I start the sharing content, let me just put you into a scenario. Okay, so I think everyone should be aware that the car structures and the outer body of the car is made of steel, right? So just imagine that you walk into a car show, a salesperson maybe walk to you and say, "Hi, Mr. or Miss, I would like to introduce a new car design to you. And this car is made of the durable steel compared to the old model, and it makes the car safer, durable, and look better. However, there will be a downside of it. It will be more expensive, all right? So as a consumer, you would think that is reasonable because you pay more and get more features. Importantly, you will get something that is important, which is safer, because you will spend quite a lot of time inside your car, right? Okay. So now, how about we change the scenario now? You will still walk into a car show, but this time a salesperson approach you, okay, and say, "Hi, Mr. or Miss, our new car model is made by downgraded steel, so we can sell you cheaper than other brand. You can save a lot to buy a car which is having the similar function as the rest of the car in this roadshow. So will you accept it and think that this is a good deal? You pay less, but buy the similar function as the rest of the car in the roadshow." I think you won't, right? Because you would tell the salesperson that you would think I'm stupid, right? Because I pay less to risk my life and the reputation. You won't do that, right? So we all have that stand to protect our life, our asset, our reputation in a way to decide the things that we want to buy, right? Okay, so this is the way that we deal with the product that you want to buy. So how about a building? So, and also what a building means to you, right? So building is a shelter from weather, security, living space, privacy, to store belongings, and to comfortably live and work. So in short, it is important space to protect us, protect all the humans who reside in the building. So as such, shouldn't we use the product that made by a quality material in a building construction so that it can protect our life, our asset, and our status or our reputation as well? There's no reason to downgrade the material because you even spend longer time in your building more than your car, right? So most of the time, building owner or the design the designer might be too negligent in choosing the good quality product to clip the building, right? So maybe some of you will be aware, maybe some of you maybe think that, so what is the consequence of it if I just choose a normal products for the clip of the building, right? So let's have a look on the next slide. So cladding that is not formed by good quality product might be filled in supporting the loading, such as the wind load as shown in the top left, the photo, right? And the worst case is the material might be perforated easily and cause water leakage. So which is shown in the photos. Those white color circle as shown in the top middle photo, as you can see here, actually is not stars, right? That's the roof is perforated by corrosion. So how the building owner can deal with this scenario? Actually, they cannot do much because changing the cladding or the roof and wall is not simple as a plumbing work. So it takes quite some time for the repairing work. So as such, building owner have no choice to use temporary solutions such as canvas to cover the possible leakage area to protect the inner space from the weather. I think you wouldn't believe that the negligence of choosing the good quality material for cladding for the roof and wall is so serious until a new business is created. So the photo as shown on the right-hand side is a real case that the temporary solution to capture the water leakage when the roof is filled. The reason is very straightforward. Is the water leakage happen in the residential building. The resident can maybe just move out, stay in the hotel, or maybe your relative house, kind of that. But just imagine that the factory then run 24/7 operation, has no downtime to lose. That's the reason why this business is created. So if good quality material is used for roofing walling during the beginning in the design, the temporary solution for water leakage business might not be able to assist, right? Right. So in short, the building whether can sustain long or deteriorate fast is really rely on your decision selecting the best material for your building design. One wrong decision, building owner may suffering the most, and the consultant, maybe the reputation will be affected also. So therefore, I would like to share the knowledge of the coated steel product from the beginner to immediate level in this session today. So we hope that this webinar may bring some information to lead you in how to choose the good quality material for your building design. The focus of this webinar today will be covering 6 sections, a bit lengthy, so bear with me. So at first, I will bring everyone back to the basic to understand the history of the coated steel and explain the type of metallic coating. All right. Then after that, I will share the basic criteria of good quality coated steel and share some case studies. Then lastly, I will share the important points that related to coated steel in JKR Master Specs and highlight to you that some points that you need to take care when you use the coated steel and how you deal with the warranty. So by the end of this session, we will open Q&A to answer all the questions from the floor. All right. Okay, let's start for the first section of today, the history of the coated steel. So I think most of the audience today have heard about zinc coating and aluminum zinc coating, right? However, you may be missed out the history of both technology. So today, let me just refresh the information about when these two metallic coating was invented and being used in the market. So let's start with the zinc coating history. So zinc galvanized process was invented in 1836 by a French civil engineer called Stanislas Sorel. So it's a French pronunciation, I hope it's right now, okay? So it's the same year when the Opium War is happening in China. So 1836 is when the first zinc galvanized process is invented, right? So after 20 years of this technology have been invented, it is widely used in the Western countries, especially in US, which is during the World War I, 1916, all right? So zinc coating technology is have a very long history when it invented until widely used in the market until today, all right? Then how about aluminum zinc coating history, right? So aluminum zinc galvanizing process was invented in early 1970s, right? Which is during the time of when the World Trade Center was built, and also the first satellite called Osumi was launched by Japan. So during the time, the technology only can make the metallic coating up to 15% of aluminum only, right? Then in 1976, it was a year of breakthrough for aluminum zinc coating technology. 55% of aluminum is able to be used in the coating, and it has been commercialized in the market. So in the same year, the machine, as you can see in this photo, is called White King. It successfully landed on Mars. So in short, actually, aluminum zinc coating technology was born in the era of technology. As you can see, all the new technology is in during the years. So now you should be aware that the zinc coating actually is an old technology compared to aluminum zinc coating technology. And that is at least 60 years apart when we count on the years of the widely commercialized in the market. So in the market, maybe someone maybe approach you and say, yes, zinc coating is an old technology, but it's cheaper. And the performance will be exactly same as aluminum zinc coating technology. There's no different, but cheaper. So, however, is it true? So we explore it now. Okay, why not we take a step back and ask ourselves, so if the old and new coating technology performance is exactly the same, so why the scientists invent the aluminum zinc coating? And why there's an investor willing to put millions of dollars to develop aluminum zinc coating and commercialize it? And importantly is, why aluminum zinc coating still being accepted in the industry, even though it is more expensive and perform exactly to the old technology? So maybe put in layman is, it's similar like if you just compare to the analog phone, if this is as good as smartphone, why smartphones still exist in the market, right? So the reason is very simple. It is because aluminum zinc coating technology can provide longer lifespan and tackle the new design needs. So what does it mean by new design needs is, just imagine that the zinc technology when it's first invented in the market, there's not too much of the profile that available in the market. So now you have a seam profile, you have a clip profile, you have a corrugated profile. There's a design needs that you need to tackle for. But whether zinc technology can tackle that, maybe you need to explore further. Right, so as mentioned earlier, that commonly you will be aware that they will be having zinc or aluminum zinc coating in the market, right? Are there only two types of metallic coating in the market? And what's the difference is? So let's explore it now about the type of metallic coating. Okay, so basically the differentiation of the metallic coating or hot dip galvanized process is only coming from the content inside the pot as circle, like what you're seeing here. So if you change the pot content to zinc, the steel will eventually galvanized by zinc coating. Whereas if you change it to content for the aluminum zinc, the steel will be galvanized by aluminum zinc coating. So if put it in layman, is similar to the hot pot that you choose the soup for the hot pot in the steamboat restaurant. All right. So the protection of the protection concept of the zinc or aluminum zinc coating is the same, which is we letting the steel to be protected top and bottom with the metallic coating, all right, on the surface, top and bottom surface. The method is called sacrificial protection. The process is simple. You just let me just point it out. You just let the most active metal to protect the least active metal. So that's why steel in the middle. So you can use aluminum, zinc, magnesium to protect the steel. Right? So you don't need to remember all this. Actually, this is quite technical. Just that we are using sacrificial protection to protect the base steel. All right. Just take it out. Okay. Right. So as mentioned earlier, are there only the zinc and aluminum zinc coating offered in the market? And how many type of metallic coating that you know? All right. So we will explore it in the subsequent slides. All right. So refer to the Australian standard 1397, all right, there are at least 5 types of the metallic coating technology available in the market. So for example, the most common one is a zinc coated with the alphabet of Z. Let me just point out, which is this one, all right. It contains 99% is zinc only, right? Then the next is aluminum zinc coating with the alphabet of AZ, all right, AZ, all right, aluminum zinc, AZ coating. Is contain up to 50 to 60% aluminum, 1 to 2% silicon, and the remaining is zinc. All right. And then the next is zinc aluminum. Zinc aluminum. You inside that. It will be same as that, right? No different because the metallic content is the same with zinc and aluminum only. All right. But just rearrange the alphabet, right? So, but if you think of it, it's nice try, but unfortunately the assumption is not right. ZA, it just have contain of 3 to 15% of aluminum. The remaining is Z, the zinc. All right. So just don't confuse by just rearrange the alphabet. When the alphabet is reorientated, so the meaning will be totally different. Right. After that is zinc, aluminum, and magnesium. All right. So in short form, we call it ZM or ZAM. It consists of 5 to 13% of aluminum, 2 to 4% magnesium. The remaining is zinc, right? So next to it is called aluminum zinc magnesium coating, or we call it AM, all right? So also the same thing, right? You just think that is just rearrange the alphabet or just rearrange the metallic content orientation. But there's a lot of difference in between both. As you can see, when aluminum zinc magnesium coating, we call it AM, is having 47 to 57% of aluminum, and 1 to 3% magnesium, and 1 to 2% silicon, and remaining is zinc. So there are 5 different types of the metallic coating available in the market. So why we highlight that? Because in Malaysia, it's commonly having the Z and AZ, but don't forget that there were a lot of important coil from other countries. But just don't be tricked or don't be confused by the arrangement of the alphabet that you can see in the coating. There will be meaning quite a lot of difference. To be shared with you, that's quite common that people will confuse between ZAM and AM. There's quite a lot of difference between both. All right. So between these 5 types of the metallic coating, which one is the newest technology? So maybe I just show it to you that. Let's code this. Okay. The newest is the AM. It's an aluminum zinc magnesium coating that was commercialized during 2013. Right, 2013 is the newest technology in the market. Okay, so AM or aluminum zinc magnesium coating is the next generation of coated steel technology. It's performed better in the corrosion protection because the adding of the magnesium into the metallic coating, it enhanced the performance of aluminum zinc coating reaction. So AM perform quicker in the corrosion resistant, prolong the lifespan, and make it suitable for the demanding environment. As a result, you'll be enjoying higher warranty period compared to the other metallic coating technology or the product in the market. Nevertheless, when AM is still not becoming a common metallic coating technology in the industry, zinc and aluminum zinc coating is still the most common technology used in the market today. So in the building applications such as the steel roof and wall, ceiling, facade, all this is still using in between these two technology, at least in Malaysia, all right? So as such, the following sharing session will be focusing on these two metallic coating technology only. Okay, now you know the different types of the metallic coating and the most common metallic coating used in the market, which is like zinc and aluminum zinc coating. However, there are many offers in the market in these two coating technology, right? How do you define is a good quality coated steel? So I will sharing in this section. So before I get into that, let's see how we look at or define the warranty and the best quality product. I think this is quite common for all of you who are dealing with the projects, right? You always have the dilemma in the junction that should I choose good quality or just rely on the warranty? So today I will just have some sharing about what's the difference between both. So if you understand about the product and know the quality, you will be worry-free, right? Because you fully understand about the value, and you are able to protect your reputation by choosing the quality product and save your resource too. Whereas if you do not know your product, but you rely on the warranty to choose the product, of course, you will be enjoying worry-free because you think that you can claim the warranty anytime when the product is not performed, right? However, when the product is deteriorated, it will affect your reputation. In addition, you will be wasting quite a lot of resources to deal with the warranty claiming. So I think this is quite common, right? It's just simple like you buy a home appliances, then you want to claim the warranty from the shop itself. They will divert you to a lot of different departments before you can claim the things to your hand, right? So the resources will be wasting for that if you do not know of the product, but just rely on the warranty. So in short, if you rely on the warranty to choose the product, it means that you let others to decide the product to be used in your project because you're not sure that what you are buying, right? So in reverse, if you base on the quality to choose the product, you decide the product by yourself because you know what the value you are buying, right? So maybe a lot of you may be still confused what Chow is talking about. It just so confused me in between warranty and the quality, right? So I give you a scenario here. Okay, let's put in a scenario that today your boss asks you help him to buy a watch, okay? And he tell you his requirement is, I want the watch function well, long lasting. I will wear it for a luxury event to meet my potential customer to talk about business. So when you walk into the shop and you shortlist two watch, which as you can see in this screen, you shortlist two watch, right? Both watch sharing the same function, such as show the accurate time, you can wear it on your wrist, looks good, and water resistant too. And both give you the same warranty year, which is 1 year, okay? And the watch on the left-hand side is cost 3,975 ringgit, all right? But the one on the right-hand side is 8 times more expensive than the left-hand side. So which one will you choose for your boss? All right, so think twice on that, which one you choose. So I think most of the audience may choose the left-hand side because it meets the needs from your boss, right? It tells you that long-lasting, everything is metered already, okay? Everything is met, right? And it is cheaper. So we think that, okay, my boss will be very happy and praise me that I buy a watch to meet all his needs and 8 times cheaper, right? However, you may be forgotten that all bosses may not tell you the full pictures of the needs. It's similar to your customer that may not able to tell you all the intangible requirement, all right? If you buy the cheaper watch and it's spoiled during the time when your boss attend the luxury event, it's not a wise idea, all right? By right, you should show both watches to the boss and tell him that the value of both. For example, why the watch on the right-hand side is 8 times more expensive? Because it's long-lasting, it provides post-sale service, it show the reputation, and also you has no worry if the watch need to be serviced. All this add-on value cannot be offered by the watch on the left-hand side, all right? I think without showing the brand name of the watch on the right-hand side, you should know what kind of brand style, all right? This is a true case. This is a real case. The reason of 8 times more expensive, actually there's a kind of the value of features that can offer that the left-hand side of the watch cannot offer. Right. Similarly, could the steel. what value should you tell your customer that the product you choose is the best quality? The most basic criteria is it must be perform the best corrosion resistant and the best color retention. Of course, other criteria like clean technology, reflect heat technology, and the service support are important too. It's a part of the value added to the product that you purchase. However, the basic needs must be complied first. Therefore, I will focusing the sharing most on the basic requirement in the subsequent slide, which is the corrosion resistant and the color retention. Okay, let's start with the corrosion resistant technology. Okay, in the previous section, I think all of you should be aware that there are at least 5 basic metallic coating in the market, right? Is using in not only Malaysia, in this region, even the whole world is using this kind of the metallic coating. So actually, all this metallic coating technology cannot be patented because it is open source for the technology used in the industry. So it is similar like the concrete grade, like C40, C30, C45, etc., etc. The base technology cannot be patented. So in short, all the industry players are sharing the same technology to produce the coated products. Right. So as such, it means that all coated steel products are same. If really the case, then we can end the sharing session today because there's no differentiation to in between the coated steel, then nothing to be shared. All right. But is that true that all the coated steel is the same? So I can tell you the answer is no. All right. So what's the differentiation? I will show in a subsequent slide. Okay, the differentiation of the coated steel product in terms of the performance is depend on 3 criteria. Right. The first is the most important criteria is which the coating technology that you choose. Either you choose zinc or aluminum zinc, which is either you select Z or SZ technology, the product for your project. Okay, will give the differentiation of performance. So I explained in the beginning of the session, the most common metallic coating technology used in the industry today is either zinc or aluminum zinc. All right. So either you choose the old one or the new one for your project, will give you a different performance or the durability in your project. Okay. The second criteria is either the manufacturer produce the product according to the compulsory standard, which is Malaysia standard lah. And this is for the Malaysia context. All right. In addition, are they refer to the most stringent standard for the QC product, for the manufacturing and the QC procedure, which is origin standard or other standard. Okay. This criteria is very important because it leads to the manufacturer to do the best QC work in producing the best quality product to the customer. Right. Then lastly, it's either the manufacturer has the capability to control the microstructure of the metallic coating. If the microstructure is vary in each batch of the production, the performance will be vary accordingly. So as mentioned in the previous slide, none of the coated steel manufacturer can patent the metallic coating technology, but the manufacturer can patent the manufacturing process or QC process and the microstructure, right? So this is the thing that most of the coated steel product, the manufacturer is only patented on these 2 things to control their products. So in short, there will be no equivalent coated steel product in the market because all of them will be manufactured differently with the different method. All right. Okay, let's take a look of the first criteria, how to differentiate the in between zinc and aluminum zinc product. Aluminum zinc coating technology is as shown on the left-hand side in this slide. All right. The zinc coating is shown at the right-hand side. All right. In the first glance of these 2 pictures, I think you should be able to see the differentiation of the microstructure, right? So as mentioned earlier, so different microstructure will be having the anti-corrosion performance differently. So the aluminum zinc on the left-hand side is formed by 55% of aluminum, 43.5% of zinc, and the zinc coating is only formed by zinc only. All right, so it's 99.8% is zinc. All right. So how it makes the 2 coating technology different in the corrosion resistant performance? All right, let's take a look. The first, since aluminum zinc is a newer coating technology, so it's thinner and lighter, whereas zinc coating is the old technology, so the coating layer is thicker and heavier. All right, so this is the first differentiation is. Second, the aluminum zinc coating technologies is able to provide double protection, but zinc coating is only on a single protection. So in other words, aluminum zinc coating technology can last longer. In general, aluminum zinc-coated steel can perform 4 times better than zinc-coated steel in the benign environment. Of course, they will be having so-called in par comparison, which, for example, AZ150 to Z275. So they will be having at least 4 times better than the zinc-coated technology. So refer to the previous slide that explained the corrosion-resistant performance of aluminum zinc and the zinc-coated steel in the theory. May not be able to convince you, right? So as such, we would like to show you the actual performance of the anti-corrosion in between both products that have been exposed to the severe marine environment for 5 years. 5 years. So as you can see in the left-hand side, which the aluminum zinc-coated steel AZ, you can't see any cut-edge red rust sign at all after exposed to the weather for 5 years. All right. In reverse, the zinc-coated product as shown on the right-hand side, you see the sign of the red rust at the cut edge when exposed to the same environment for the aluminum zinc-coated products. So this is a differentiation. The test results show the zinc-coated product may perform shorter galvanic protection compared to the aluminum zinc-coated products. So come to here, maybe some of you may be asked, okay, if I choose aluminum zinc-coated product, as suggested by me, Xiao, in this previous slide, right? So how can I find the best manufacturer who can produce the best quality product of aluminum zinc, right? So actually, I don't think we can find the best manufacturer, but we can look for the responsible manufacturer who take care of the production and commit the quality they promise to the customer. So in terms of the corrosion-resistant performance, a responsible manufacturer who commit to their capability to control the production line, they will be having the 3 main aspects. All right. The first one, as you can see here, they should be able to control the optimum microstructure. So as mentioned earlier, the performance of the anti-corrosion of the metallic coating is heavily rely on the patented microstructure. It is similar to our fingerprint. All right. All metallic coating will be having their own microstructure. It must be controlled in the production process so that the microstructure will be the same in all batches of the production. Secondly, the responsible manufacturer should be able to control the coating composition. So what does it mean? For example, the aluminum zinc coating composition is 55% aluminum, 43.5% of zinc, and 1.5% of silicon. It should be controlled in each batch of the production. In other words, the manufacturer should not produce the aluminum zinc coating product in 50% aluminum in one batch, then 45% in another batch. So it affects the performance. They must control the composition right in each batch of the production. And lastly, whether the manufacturer can control the production consistency. It means that the top and the bottom metallic coating must achieve the minimum thickness or the coating mass according to the international standard requirement. So there will be no acceptance that the coating that vary in the thickness of coating mass in each production. It cannot be one batch that thicker, then the other batch is thinner. All right. So in short, the responsible manufacturer, you should produce the best manufacturing process, and the quality control is a key of the quality product to achieve in the performance accordingly. Okay, now I would like to show you a classic example that even you choose aluminum zinc coating technology, all right? But if the manufacturer is irresponsible to the product in produce the best quality product to you, it may accelerate the deterioration of the product too. Okay, before I get into the explanation, I would like to highlight that the graphic, as you can see in this slide, is exaggerated for the illustration purpose only. All right, this is not the actual microscopic view of the metallic coated steel, but it's just used to explain the theory that what is going on in the market for the aluminum zinc products. So I think most of the audience has the misperception that as long as you use the same coating technology, the product will perform 100% the same. Let's say, for example, like you choose AZ, then you choose the other one AZ, or maybe more expensive or cheaper, then will perform exactly the same. So actually, the key of the success of the product is heavily rely on the manufacturing process. So, but not the technology by itself, it's a manufacturing process. So it is applicable to all kinds of products. I believe you should agree on this point. No matter it's a F&B product, electronic product, it's heavily rely on the manufacturing process, how you control it. As such, even though you select the aluminum zinc coated steel that perform better in the zinc coating product, if the quality is not there, the product cannot perform as it is designed for. A test example of the aluminum zinc coated is tested in the accredited lab with the test standard of ASTM B4X7. The results show that the top and bottom of the alternative aluminum zinc coated steel, it shows 47% difference, which means that the top metallic coating layer achieved the design requirement, but the bottom is 47% thinner than the top. Let me just show you, point it out. So this is the case here. The top, they achieve it, but the bottom is 47% less than the top. All right. Therefore, the uneven, Therefore, the uneven coating mass may cause the corrosion happen faster than expected, even though its aluminum zinc technology is used. So just be careful on that. You must assess and ensure that the product can bring you what they committed for. Okay, next, let's take a look at the color retention technology, right? Okay, similarly to the metallic coating technology, all players in the market are sharing the same painting technology, such as polyester paint, super polyester paint, super modified polyester paint, or even PVDF paint. So maybe once again, maybe you think that there's no difference between all pre-painted coated steel product, right? So of course, the answer is still no, all right? So where the differentiation is coming from? Okay. The differentiation is whether the manufacturer have their own paint technology. So it's very important that propriety, this word is very important to understand that whether the manufacturer have their own technology and they commit for the performance of the paint system, all right? Secondly, it's similar to the metallic coating technology and how the manufacturer control the quality and commit the performance while the manufacturing process. If the paint system is proprietary paint system, which means that it's patented and it's only owned by the particular manufacturer. In addition, the manufacturing process to guarantee the color retention is patented method as well. All right, so this is how the patented process on the method is. That's always is not the technology or the system they use in the market, but it's the product by itself and also the manufacturing process. So once again, a responsible manufacturer will deliver the quality product as promised to the customer. In terms of the color retention performance, a responsible manufacturer who shall be able to commit 4 main aspects in the production, right? So what it is, the first one, they should adopt the same proprietary paint system consistently, which means they should not always change the supplier, just purely based on the cost, all right? So this is very important. Secondly, the manufacturer should control the optimum thickness of the paint consistently, which means that the dry film thickness, or in short form we call it DFT, must not be varied. Cannot be today I can promise you 25 micron on the top, the next day is 20 micron only. So this is not the case. It cannot be accepted. Then thirdly, except for the outer paint layer, the primer layer, which is the main bonding in between the outer paint and the substrate, is equally important. And lastly, the consistency of the paint layering must be always achieved to remain the capability of the color retention. So in short, once again, the best manufacturing process and quality control is a key of the quality product to achieve the performance accordingly. Okay, so however, how are we going to ensure the product achieve the high quality standard, right? We cannot be always stand beside the production line and make sure the thing do it accordingly and go to the QC checking part and ensure everything is done, right? Okay, so there's a way to assess the product. So first is a product must get through the cyclic corrosion test. In short, we call it CCT. This is the best test to identify the possible defect and rusting happen under the paint, which is the salt spray test, SST, cannot detect it. So I will show you an example how the defect or the rust happen under the paint looks like, or we call it blistering in the subsequent slide. Then second, the product must be able to collect sufficient data in the weather exposure test in a different environment. So I believe that like BlueScope, we are having the exposure rack in all different countries and different sites to ensure the product can withstand the weather as per the design, all right? Then third is the application test. This is very important, especially when there's a new product coming out when the manufacturer wants to introduce to you, right? So what does it mean is, for a certain manufacturer, this is a mandatory test for the manufacturer to work together with the roll former to produce the product and assess the product accordingly. So why this is very important is because just imagine all the coil coming out is just in the coil form or the flat surface. Maybe they can get through the CCT test or whatever test they can conduct in the accredited lab, but you may not know any defect maybe happen during the roll forming process, right? So that's why that when there's a new product coming in, you maybe need to ask the supplier or the manufacturer, have you done the application test? Because you maybe need to assess whether any micro crack is happened during the roll forming process when the new product is coming out in the market, right? So as such, when the supplier approach you and introduce a new product to you in the coil form or flat form, you must be careful and ensure that application test has been done. All right. Okay, so now I would like to show you how the rust happen under the paint or the blistering looks like. Okay, the sample as shown in this slide are exposed to the severe marine environment for 9 years. All right, C4 environment for 9 years. On the left hand side, AZ150 coated pre-painted product, and it does not show any sign of the rusting at all. All right, at the cut edge, there's no sign of the red rust at all. In reverse, the sample on the right hand side, which is Z275 pre-painted products, it show the blistering or the red rust sign. It show most of the perimeter of the sample. So as you can see, some red sign is happening, and the white dot actually is kind of the blistering is happening. So this is the differentiation that in between aluminum zinc and zinc, especially when dealing with the pre-painted coated steel, because when you're able to pass through a certain test, maybe not able to pass through the CCT test, that can detect the blistering or the ruts happen under the paint. Okay, come to the paint performance. The sample as shown in this slide is exposed to the sunlight for 10 years under the Malaysia weather. So refer to the comparison on the left-hand side, the color differentiation in between the control sample, which is an unexposed plate, with the exposed sample, it shows no much different, right? The delta E is 4.2. When the number of delta E is getting higher, means the color fading is getting severe. So why we have delta 2? So I being shared to a lot of customer and consultant is because when it comes to the sensation thing, it's very subjective. The thing you see, the thing you smell, the thing you hear. So maybe some person think it's okay, the other person think it's not. So we need to have a certain number to guide us whether the certain thing is going beyond the benchmark or getting worse or not. So for color fading, it's based on delta E. So when you see the number is less, that means the color fading is not that severe, right? So on the right hand side, as you can see, the exposed sample on the other coated steel brand is almost turned into the other colors when compared to the control sample. So one is kind of the dark blue, right? But it's faded until it's kind of the brown colors. The delta E is between the exposed sample and unexposed sample is talking about 21.8 of the delta E. It is almost 5 times worse than the color fading compared to the left-hand side. Okay, next is about the primer, as mentioned earlier. So no matter how good the paint system is, even the PVDF, if the manufacturer uses a low-quality primer, the outer paint layer will not be able to sustain. It will be delaminated from the substrate, as shown on the photo on the right-hand side. Actually, this is a real case that we go back and check on the case study. This both roof actually exposed to the sunlight for 7 years. So for the alternative one, already delaminated because of the low quality of the primer is used, right? So therefore, the rigorous test in the manufacturing process is crucial. It's very important. So without proper QC procedure and high standard to control the quality, you may not be able to bring the right product to the customers. Okay. Okay, so how bad the situation or the consequences if the low quality product is just accidentally or maybe purposely is used in the project. So let's take a look at the example now, right? It's some case study to share it with you. Okay, this is a real case happened in Sarawak, right? The developer engaged a contractor to construct the middle 4 blocks of the commercial building, right? Let me just point it out. The middle 4 blocks, these 4 blocks, all right? Then they engaged another contractor to build the outer 4 blocks of the building, which is these 4 blocks, right? The surrounding 4 blocks, right? The green color roof was used in the design for these 8 blocks of the building. Okay, the contractor who built the outer 4 blocks used the quality products. All right. But the other contractor who used the alternative product to build the roof of the middle 4 blocks. Okay. After certain years, the roof of the middle 4 blocks of the building is start with the color fading, and then it start to show the red rust. Right. Some building owner who reside in these middle blocks is try to repaint the roof with the green color again. This is what we observe lah. But eventually the roof is still continue deteriorating. So this is a very classic case that if you have a comparison, then you can see the differentiation of the good quality product and the so-called the normal quality or the low quality product is when exposed to the weather. Okay, this is another classic real case happened in Sarawak too. Okay, there are 4 identical residential blocks are constructed at the same time. Okay, the 3 blocks. Okay, let me just point it out. The 3 blocks here using the good quality product. Okay, then the other block as a certain distance away using other alternative product for roof. So consequently, the block that use the alternative product is deteriorated faster than the other 3 blocks. So let me just show you a closer look of that. Okay, this is a closer view that you can see that how serious the color fading of the alternative product compared to the good quality products, right? And the worst case is in the zoom in view, the problem is not only color fading, but the red rust is happens seriously onto the roof. Okay, so this is another case that as you can see, the blue colors building, this one actually is a jetty located at the Sabah. All right. This is a 19 years old building. Okay, since the last site visit we did in 2022 lah. Okay, the colors of the building still perform well and no sign of red rust at all. I will show you some zoom in photo later. So whereas there's some nearby building that using other galvanized roof is already show the red rust seriously on the roof lah. All right. Okay, so this is the closer look that for the same building as I showed to you just now, the jetty at Sabah. So as you can see that the cut edge and the drip edge of the roof, there's no sign of the rusting at all. Okay, so this is how we inspect it and how we're going to assess the product itself. So normally the rusting will be happen at the cut edge, then eventually it's gradually to eat into the inner area of the roof itself. So the first we check on the drip edge and the cut edge to see any rust sign or not. Okay, of course that other than the drip edge, the cut edge, we also need to check other areas as well. So for example, the flashing, okay, this is very important point that I would like to highlight because sometimes that the owner or the contractor think that as long as I use the main roof with the quality product, all the small area, the flashing, I can use alternative. So actually the differentiation will be shown if you use alternative for the flashing. So it's suggested to use the same products for the whole roof, even though the flashing is a small area. So as you can see in this photo, so the same jetty case study that we went through, we climb up and take a look of it. The flashing on the cut edge is no sign of corrosion at all. And we also check on the side lab, the cut edge, we also there's no red rusting at all. All right, after 19 years. Okay, so that's all for the case study. So I would like to go into a detail for the JKR spec. Okay, so we maybe take a look of what's the requirement for JKR related to the coated steel product, right? Okay. So before we get into the detail, let me just close a pointer. Okay, let me get. I would like to share that JKR Master Spec is a main guideline for the contractor to procure the materials to provide the workmanship for the JKR project that is adequate, safe, and well maintained that is specified in this particular books in the guideline. Right. The important or the most interesting part is JKR is looking for something is long-lasting performance product that can well maintain. Right. So of course we are not in the position to share the whole context in this JKR spec. We are not the expert on it, but we can maybe share a little bit of the info or the insight that focusing on the section G roofing, right? So refer to the clause 6.1.1.1, it stated that you only can use 2 types of the metallic coating product for steel roofing sheet, which is either zinc coating or aluminum zinc coating. However, based on my little understanding that the newest JKR Master Spec they will release in this year, 2025, will be adding another type of the metallic coating. So let's stay tuned on that. So, but currently, there's only two types of it, which is ZAC or SZ, right? Both ZAC or SZ or zinc or aluminum zinc coating must comply to the international standard or Malaysia standard as stated in this table. Any metallic coating steel product that manufactured is not conforming to this standard may not be accepted by JKR. So if you intend to use imported coil for JKR work, then maybe you need to be careful on that. All right. So if pre-painted coated steel product is used in the project, clause 6.1.2 must be referred to. The product must conforming to MS 2383 and AS and Australian or New Zealand Code of 2728. There's no alternative standard can be accepted. So in addition, the material must be at least within C3 environment according to the ISO 9223. All right, so this is a baseline that JKR can accept it if the pre-painted finished coated steel is used in the project. Okay, regarding the paint thickness, all right, JKR only accept at least 25 micron on the top surface towards the weather and 10 micron for the backing, no matter it's zinc or aluminum zinc coated steel is used. All right. So in other words, if the paint thickness less than the requirement, JKR may reject the products. All right. So this is very important. Okay. Regarding the steel grade, JKR only accept two steel grade, either 300 MPa or 550 MPa of the base steel. This must be very careful if you decided to use imported coil for JKR project, because some imported coil might be very in, like, for example, 330 MPa or 345 MPa kind of that. So as such, they will have a risk that JKR may be rejected, all right, because they only stated two types of the steel grade. Then about the minimum coating mass, JKR only accept AZ150 or above for the benign environment or C3 environment. As such, do not try to use coating mass lower than AZ150 for JKR project, just because it's cheaper, because JKR may not accept it. Okay, but interestingly is JKR does not mention what's the minimum coating mass for zinc coating steel. So as such, it may become a case-by-case basis subject to the SO approval. Okay, refer to the clause 6.1.6. These are the basic warranty of the pre-painted coated steel that is needed by JKR. All right. As such, please avoid to use any product that cannot offer such a warranty period as shown in this slide. Okay. So for fastener or screw, it must be complied to AS 3566 class 3, and it must be coming with the EPDM rubber washer. Okay, this is very important. Screw that is lower than class 3, as stated in AS 3566, or without the rubber washer, may not be accepted by JKR. So this is the requirement for the screw itself. Okay, in part 7 of the section G, it stated the requirement of the coated steel product in the severe marine environment or the coastal area, which is either C4 or C5 environment as stated in ISO 9223. So refer to the clause 7.2. Zinc coating steel is, if the zinc coating steel is used at the severe marine environment, it must be minimally ZAC 350. But if the aluminum zinc coating technology is used, ZAC 200 is actually acceptable, right? Then about the fastener or screw, class 4 must be used for the building located at the severe marine environment. And this requirement, even just now I mentioned about the class 3, is not only for the main roof. It's applicable for the flashing or any associated components. So in other words, if you intend to use other screw for flashing or other components, actually it's not accepted by JKR. All right, this will be the last section of today, warranty versus the material performance. Okay. So generally, when deal with the coated steel product, you will be offering a warranty for 4 main coverage area, right? Which is the warranty for not perforated by corrosion, no peel or flake, no excessive color fading, and no discoloring by dusting. So this is the main coverage when you deal with the coated steel product in your project. So what can the consultant or contractor do to ensure the warranty is covered when they use a steel product, coated steel product in a project? So basically, they will be having 2 actions that you advise your customer to do. Make sure that the warranty is valid and it will not be void when the coated steel product is in service lah. Right. So the design that will be as shown in this slide, the action is in the design and the workmanship. So the design is actually responsible by the consultant, all right? And the workmanship actually is countable on contractor. So maybe I explore it into these two different sections for the design and the workmanship. Okay, let's start with the design, all right? So consultant must ensure the right product is used for the suitable environment. For example, AZ150 should be suitable for the benign environment, right? And when the severe marine environment, AZ200 should be used. So however, if wrong product is used in the wrong environment, the warranty might be downgraded or void because we are not able to guarantee the product lifespan. So why we are highlighting that is because sometimes based on the budget issue, some customer maybe they want to challenge it or gamble it by using AZ150 for the severe marine environment. So that may be not covered or maybe downgrade the warranty accordingly. So this one must be careful on that. Okay, use the wrong type or classification of the screw in the wrong environment may cause the warranty void also. So minimally, the class 3 screw shall be used for the benign environment, but class 4 must be used for the corrosive environment. This is not only applicable for main roof, as I mentioned earlier, but also applicable for flashing and components must be used of the same type of screw. So otherwise, if the screw head started to show the red rusting and cause the main roof deteriorated, it will not be covered under the warranty. And you should not also use the incompatible material together with aluminum zinc coated steel product. Otherwise, you will be cannibalize each other. For example, the copper lightning arrestor should not be in touch with the AZ coated steel, or stainless steel screw cannot be in touch with the AZ coated steel product too. So if incompatible material is found that in touch with the AZ coated steel product on site, unfortunately, I was just saying that the warranty will be void lah. All right. So workmanship that's responsible contractor will also play a part on the warranty. So what it is, I will show it now. So coated steel product should be stored properly on site to avoid the possible water ponding before it is installed. So improper storage on site that may cause the perforation by corrosion on the coated steel will not be covered under the warranty. So what does it mean is, let's say the coated steel product stored on site improperly and cause a certain water ponding in a certain area and then cause the perforation by corrosion. You come back to the manufacturer and claim the warranty, you may not be get it compensate lah, because this is the improper storage on site. Right. So next is if you use the improper tools that cause the hot cut on site to trim the coated steel may cause the warranty void too. If because the hot cut method will cause the burr edge that fail to be protected by zinc. So as you can see here, okay. So as such, contractors should be advised to use hand cutter or shearer or maybe nibbler to do the cold cut on site. Or maybe you can do a pre-cut in the factory before delivered to site. So to avoid to do the hot cut that may cause the corrosion. So lastly, the irresponsible housekeeping on site that cause a swab stain is not covered under the warranty too. The swab that is created after drilling must be cleaned immediately, or maybe by the end of each working day, because the swab will show the red rust immediately when it is in touch with the Weber or an air. So this is very important issue because that you need to take care is because nowadays there's a lot of solar panel installation on the steel roof. You maybe need to highlight or ensure your EPC contractor they need to clean up all the swab on the roof because eventually all this is not covered under the warranty, and then you need to clean up by yourself, right?